All right, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Hey, I'm excited about today. I made it down to the water's edge, and I'm actually gonna get in. I'm gonna walk in this thing. So we're gonna get muddy, we're gonna get gross and dirty out here today. But the plan is to catch some fish. The past couple of times I've been out, it's not gone well. So I had that trip, probably, maybe not the last, but one of the last trips that you saw me on, I got that really big flathead. That's been a long time ago now, and so I've had several trips since then, and I can't get on the fish. I'll fish for several hours, even a full day, and catch one fish all day long. So it's just not working in my favor. We're not getting any rain. Water levels are not coming up, and it's making things really difficult. But I think with the water being so low, it should make wading fairly easy. And so I've come out here just with some lighter tackle, some smaller baits, and I'm just gonna see if I can find some smaller catfish. And as we do that, I'm bringing a little bait bucket with me. We'll see if we get any of those really small channel cats out here. There's no length limit. You got a 10 fish creel limit. And so, you know, if we get some of those really small channel cats, and I brought some really small hooks with me too, so if they're kind of pecking at us and not getting hooked up with what we're starting out with, we'll switch over to even some smaller hooks. I want to keep a couple of them in the bucket and keep them alive, and hopefully Monday I'll get an opportunity. So that's 2 days from now. Today's Saturday, so hopefully on Monday I'll get an opportunity to bring them back out. We're on the same water, and so it's legal to keep them as live bait and actually use them if we catch them on hook and line, to use them for bait. So I'd like to see if we can get a bunch of small fish out here today, and then hopefully that'll reinvigorate me for a trip on Monday to try to target a really big fish. So without further ado, let's get our feet wet, and probably, frankly, really gross. And let's just start trying to catch some fish. So this is gonna be the setup today. I've got just a spinning rod here. This is a medium light. I'd maybe like to have a light action, but I don't own a light action rod. But a medium light should be okay for this application. So we're going just 6-pound line. I put fresh line on last night, and just real simple rig. So we got a 1/4 ounce bullet weight to a bead, and I actually don't know what size hook that is. It's just a bait holder, like a little eagle claw. It's smaller than a 1/0. So, you know, sizing of the hooks, you go really large, like say a 12/0 down to, you know, 8/0, 6/0, 4/0, 1/0, and then you start counting back up. So size 1, size 2, 3, 4, and you're getting smaller as you go that way. So this is maybe a size 1 hook. It's smaller than a 1/0, but I don't actually know what size it is. So all I've done is I've taken some of that, I've got some of that frozen shad. That stuff is pretty old, kind of freezer burnt, not real great for the bigger fish, but just cut it into chunks. And hopefully these are small enough chunks for this hook. They may actually still be a little bit too big, but let's see. Maybe we'll go, I don't know the best way to hook this. Maybe we'll go out the side and then back out the top through some of that skin. Try to get the stuff to stay on the hook best we can, but we want that hook point to be exposed, so that whatever does hit can get the hook too. But that's what we're going to start out trying. If that doesn't work, I've got some red worms with me, and we'll put them on. So I think all I'm really going to do is try to avoid the snags first thing, but we're just going to toss over by that structure. We're standing in the middle of the river right now in about ankle deep water. And the channel's over on that bank, so it's maybe a little bit deeper over there, but we're just going to let that bait sit there for just a couple of minutes, and if we don't get bit, we're just going to slowly work our way up along this bank and throw up around the branches and some of the deeper structure. Deeper being a relative term, inches deeper, but over there in that channel and up in the wood. And I think if we do that long enough, it shouldn't take too long, and we'll start finding a couple of channel cats. I went with the 6-pound line and the medium light rod for what I think we'll get out here today. I'd like to have a light action rod, but there's always a chance that you end up hooking into one of those 8 or 10-pound channels, and if we do that, we're in trouble. We're not going to get them landed. The rod would do fine, as long as it doesn't break. We've had some. This rod is in ill repair, but if the rod were fully functional, it would do fine, but the line isn't gonna hold up, and that's okay. We're looking for what I call eaters out here today, though I don't typically eat them, and I'm probably not going to keep any to eat today, just a few to put in the bait bucket if we get them small enough. The rest are going back in the water, but I sure hope we get some today because I'm so sick of spending my time out here fishing and not catching anything, and this water is a lot colder than I was expecting it might be. So hopefully we find some active fish. Well, this fish is gonna be gone. Whatever it is, it hit. We're rubbing up against this line. Let's see if we can go follow him. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, he's wrapped all around. Yeah, he's gone. Yep, that's what I was worried about. The fish that did end up hitting is way too big for the tackle that we're fishing. We couldn't catch any of these small ones. Where'd he go? He's still on there, but we're gonna lose him. Dang it. Finally had a fish hit. Yeah, bummer. Thought maybe he'd come off from being wrapped up around that. We definitely had our drag way too loose. Well, that stinks. Yep, lost him. That ended up being a much bigger fish than we're able to handle on this tackle. I was worried that might happen. I still haven't caught a small fish yet. Oh, maybe I should have just brought a little bit bigger tackle, and I don't know, it's hard to know. Second guess yourself when it's not working out, and I just haven't been able to catch any fish lately. I'll get retied and try again. There's one. Finally, we got one. And that's the size I thought I was gonna get when I came out here. Better not mess around too much or we'll lose him, but that's what I thought I'd find out here. And finally one that, you know, could get a little hook, but now where did he get that hook? Did we get him in the fin? That one's a little bit bigger than what I want to use for bait. I might have to, we might have to cut that line. All right, got him cut off. See, that's about what I thought we'd be finding all day out here, is fish like that. I guess we still got time. Maybe we'll find some more, but he swam up to hide under my foot. There he goes. I don't know. Let's get a new hook tied on and try again. Let's grab us another. I abandoned the shad pretty quickly and went to the worms, just have more confidence in them. Let's just get another worm threaded on that hook. I mean, you would think fish about that size, you wouldn't have any problem catching them, so who knows what the fish that we've been getting bit by today out here, what they look like, but they must be really, really small. I would have loved to have landed that bigger fish that hit, but like I said, just the line that we're using out here, we don't stand a chance on those big fish. And those bigger channel cats, they will hit these worms. Caught a lot of big channel cats on worms, even small ones like this. That's all we're doing though. We're just gonna toss that worm out. Get it reeled back down. So again, we switched over to a number 8 Aberdeen hook, but just a 1/4 ounce bullet weight with a bead on 6-pound line, and that 6-pound line is not gonna work for some of these bigger fish, but I just really thought we'd find a lot more fish like that one that we just caught. So let's give it a minute and see if maybe we can find another one. So all we're doing is just tossing that over there, let it sit there, and just give it a couple of minutes and then move on. That fish there is gonna get our worm. He's working on it. See, I don't know what these fish are that are just, I mean, how small do they gotta be to not, I mean, you saw how small that last one was that I caught. And it took that bait, hook and all. So how small do these fish gotta be to not even be able to get a number 8 hook in their mouth is what I wonder. There's one. Too big for us. Way too big for us, but we'll see. We'll see if we can. Oh my goodness. This is never gonna work out. He's going right for that branch too. Okay. We're on 6-pound line. There's nothing we can do with him. Nothing at all that we can do with him. Just try to bring him back slow. This is something I thought might happen. Anytime you're fishing these laydowns, this structure, and you got a worm on, you got a chance at a good quality channel cat, which is what I'm sure this is. But you got to fish light tackle so you can make some of these smaller fish happen, and it's still been a failure. They've been too small even to get a bluegill hook, so that kind of explains that. Frankly, I mean, this is a good quality channel cat, but it's not like insanely large. We're gonna back over to the bank. I don't know that we'll have much luck getting this fish landed without getting over at the bank. Doing it in the river is gonna be a challenge. I suppose we probably could. Yeah, I don't know. We'll try to get at the bank. I think that'll make life a little easier. He goes for another run. Man, I should have just wore pants and let them get soaking wet, because these flies are killing my legs. I keep checking on the camera because I've had so many problems with it. The stupid thing keeps shutting off on me, and then I've had issues. It's been on when I thought it was off. We're running the battery down real quick and not getting a whole lot of action. We're not done. I mean, we got time. We're not done out here today. We're gonna get a few more fish. Must be fish number 2. We should be able to get another couple before we're done, I would think, but we're gonna have to play this fish out a little bit, because we're on 6-pound line. As soon as we go to grab him, he's gonna want to snap that line. That's why I'd like to just pull him over to the bank. I can roll him up on the bank, and then we'll be able to work with him. Yeah, that fish is way too big for the line that we're using. It's quite possible that we don't end up landing the fish. If that happens, that's okay. We had our fun. But we'd have more fun, I think, if we could land him. So we'll try. I didn't bring a landing glove, so my hands are probably gonna get all tore up. Yep, okay. I don't know. We're probably gonna have to just stick our thumb in his mouth and let it get tore up. I hate doing that because they cut your hands. You'll be bleeding, and it just is uncomfortable. So I'd rather not do that, but if we don't, I don't know how much luck we're gonna have getting this fish landed. I think next time we do this, oh, there he went. He didn't break the line, but we popped the hook. Well, we had our fight anyways. We had our fun. That one was a little bit too big for the tackle that we're using. I was getting ready to say, I think next time we do this, we might just come with a little bit heavier line, and we might just kind of forget about these really small fish. Man, these flies are killing me. Forget about these really small fish and just focus on like the medium to maybe a little bit larger size channel cats, like what that one was there. Because we can get them with a little bit heavier line. We got some nice lively worms. We got some dead ones in there too. Man, flies. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to break out that bug spray again too and see if that'll help at all. Because I can't keep dealing with these things. All right, there's our next bait. I can get some bug spray on my legs and we'll go over there and see if we can find another fish. Let's see if there's not another fish over here. Might just have to apply that bug spray over and over because it's working for now, but I imagine as I walk through the water, it'll wash it off. We'll keep having problems. Yeah, I mean, that was a solid fish, and it was on a very small bait. Doesn't take a lot for these channels. You get a worm in their face, they're gonna eat it. I probably gave up on the shad too quick. I'm sure it would work just as well for us. I just think next time we do this, and we're getting it kind of dialed, but I think next time we do this, we just really need to maybe go a little bit heavier line and just forget about these really small fish because it's just not happening with them, and just focus on, we won't catch as many fish, but focus on those that are in like the, probably about as small as the first one we caught up to about, you know, this last one we caught, kind of in that size range, and forget about the really small ones because it's not happening there. There we go, there's one. And that's the right size too. I'm sure the camera's running. Again, we've had problems. That's finally we're catching the right size. Like, that's what we've been out here looking for. We just haven't been able to get them. Hopefully he didn't get that too deep. Nope, he didn't either. I don't know why it's so hard to find a catfish in that size class. Let's get a rod set up on the bank over here. We'll scoop them up. Try to do so without grabbing the fins though. There we go. There, finally. Yeah, we almost missed him too. That bead slid down on top of our hook. Mr. Whiskers, let's open that mouth. Let me get my hook back. Here, let's switch hands, how about? Don't you know I'm right-handed, Mr. Catfish? That'll make it a little bit easier if we can use our right hand, get some leverage here. Just try to pop that thing free without bending it. Geez, there we go. Got our bait back. Yeah, I mean, I thought we'd come out here and just catch a bunch of them. Small, almost juvenile, but not quite, channel cats. Well, it's just not, it's not been easy. But we got one there. And he gave us our worm back, so we don't gotta dig back down in the cooler. Feel flies on my legs again, so I think my theory of walking in the water is correct. Obviously, we're washing that spray off pretty quick. All right, now let's keep fishing. Let's keep moving along. I think we kind of figured out that it's not worth our time to wait on those small bites. In fact, we really probably could switch back to that hook that was just a little bit bigger than this number 8, just because I put the number 8 on thinking we'd get some of those, you know, some of them smaller fish, but that didn't pan out. So maybe we just, I suppose we could put that bigger hook back on and be all right. But let's just stick with what we're doing here. You know, bait over there, that was a terrible cast, but another bait over there, and maybe there'll be another fish sitting over there. There's another one there, another little guy. But again, that's what we came out here targeting. It's gonna be terrible. See, okay, see now that there is what we thought. Oh, well, we got the quick release. I was gonna say that might have been, you know, about the size I was thinking maybe we could use for some bait, but that one was actually gonna be a little bit bigger than what I was gonna want to use anyway. So let's toss back over there again. That's 2 off of this spot now. There's one. That's a little guy. Yeah, that's a little guy. And that one there, if he doesn't flop off the hook, might actually be bait. Sorry, I got the rod tip there. The filming quality is quite terrible out here today, but that right there is perfect for bait. And he hit it hard enough, obviously, to get caught. I'm so curious what all those fish are that have been pecking at me but can't get the bluegill hook in their mouth. Obviously these fish can. Let's see. Okay. Like I said, I mean, that'd be a good bait. Let's put him in the bucket. If we can keep him alive, we'll use him for bait on Monday if we get a chance to come back out on Monday. When you would think the bigger fish that are in here, there's no bluegill in this body of water. There's really not much for bait fish in here. There's just, you know, channel cats are most abundant. You got a lot of little ones like that. I would think that the big fish, especially the big flatheads, are eating a lot of them little channels. All right, let's, every time I'm talking to the camera, I can't get a good cast, but let's throw back over there. Maybe we'll find another one sitting over there. Just give it a minute or two, see if we do, and if not, then we'll just keep fishing our way along. We're starting to catch a few fish now. There he is. There he is. That's actually a lot bigger fish than I thought it was too. Not that it's a huge fish, but it's a... Did we lose him? Nope, there he is. He's still on there. A better fish than what I thought it was. It was hitting like a real small, just doing that little tap, tap, tap. Oh, that's why. Hey, that's actually, we're gonna throw him in the cooler if we can get him, landed. That's a freshwater drum right there. Check my camera. Had a lot of issues with it operating correctly. Let's get him up on the bank just so we don't lose him. We'll get him in the cooler because that's gonna make some excellent cut bait. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. My fishing line. I gotta fix that situation too. Okay, yeah, let's get up on the bank here. I'm just working my way back downstream and pretty well done fishing, but I just wanted to hit this spot where we'd done okay earlier another time before I finished my trip. Okay. Get some slack in the line there. Heck yeah, guys. That's awesome. That'll make some good cut bait. Let's rinse them off a little bit there. Oh yeah. I don't fish worms out here very often. So anymore. Anyway, I used to do it all the time, but I don't do it anymore a whole lot. So it's been a long time since I've caught a freshwater drum out of here. Which is kind of sad because they're really pretty cool fish, and I really do enjoy catching them, actually. We're gonna keep him, and he's gonna make a big head bait for us. Throw him in the cooler. Make some room for him first. We'll put him down on the ice. Put a bait back in on top of him. Hey, that is awesome, man. I was not expecting to catch that fish. And who knows, maybe because he kind of just, it was like a tap, 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 like a real light bite. Maybe some real small versions of him are what we've been having a hard time hooking up with out here today. I don't know. We never will know, but good to get that fish. It may be the last fish of the trip, but we're gonna just fish here. We're in the same stretch where we got on a few of those small channel, where we got that little channel cat. We got on a few smaller channel cats here earlier. We're just gonna fish it again as we're working back, and once we're done, we're gonna head back out. So I'll get another worm, get a new bait back on this hook, and just give it a little while longer, but we're not gonna be out here much longer. We're gonna call it a trip. All right, guys, it's time for me to pack it in. I had fun out here today. The quantity of fish wasn't quite where I had hoped it would be, but there again, you don't tend to come out here and get a lot of bites on the water that I fish. I thought maybe this style would increase the bites, and it did. I just thought perhaps maybe even more than it did. So we had those two good quality channel cats. The one broke us off, the other popped the hook, and then we got 4 or 5 smalls on top of that. So 6 or 7 bites out here today. We had a whole ton of bites, 6 or 7 catches out here today. I'm not sure what the deal is with these really, really small fish that are pecking at the bait and not able to hook up. But all in all, not a terrible trip. The filming quality might be horrendous, and if that's the case, then you all will not be seeing this video. If it does get posted, it still may not be the best video on the planet. So I appreciate you all bearing with me and staying tuned here until the end. We got one, again, I would have liked to have had some more. We got one good bait for our next trip out here if we can keep it alive. So that's a legal bait opportunity out here. We're gonna keep it alive and use it on the same body of water, but I'm not gonna be able to fish tomorrow, so it's gonna be 2 days. So if we can keep it alive and we get back out here next time, we'll have an opportunity to get that bait eaten. You would think there's not a lot of diversity for fish species out here. You've got carp, freshwater drum, the channel cats, the flatheads, and gar. And so, I mean, you would think that these bigger catfish are eating probably some smaller freshwater drum, some smaller carp, but also some of these smaller channel catfish. You'd think that would make up a big portion of their diet. So I'm excited to have that bait. I haven't been able to get things going as far as like getting a bite to turn on for me out here on the river so far this year. But if we get one bite and it's one big good quality bite, then that makes a trip for me. So I'm hoping that when we get out here in a couple of days, if we can keep that bait alive, we can get it eaten by a big fish. So stay tuned, tune back in for that, and hopefully that's going to take place for us out here. But like I said, I had fun. I always have fun when I get out here, and that's number one for me. And so I'm glad I have the opportunity to get out here, do what I enjoy, which is spend some time in the outdoors trying to catch some catfish, and we caught a few. So like I said, not a terrible trip. Hopefully the footage turned out okay to where I can bring you along with me, and I hope you guys enjoyed as well. We'll be back at it soon. We're going to be after some bigger catfish next time, so stay tuned, tune back in. Thanks for watching, guys.